the body is still here. We'll work around it. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Angry and Ornery Show. I'm so glad you're here. This is our season debut, episode 1 in season 2. We put the wraps on our cliffhanger last taping, which was a couple weeks ago, and we're back for a brand new season that promises to be exciting, filled with wonderful guests and wonderful subjects and more reviews of TV and movie and apparently dead bodies. But anyways, once again, let me tell you that you are all welcome to join us here in Second Life. If you're watching this on YouTube or something like that, please join Second Life, create an avatar, and contact me, Zoltan Mint, and we'll get you to the studio for a live taping. We have a lot of fun in our studio audience. They're able to talk in local chat, and we see that, and we try to acknowledge what they're saying, so your opinions matter. So feel free to type away in local. Also, you can watch us on live stream. The live stream goes out during the taping, which is every 2 weeks on Wednesday night. That's 7 o'clock Pacific time or 10 o'clock Eastern time. And if that's not enough, you can find us on YouTube. We have some post editing, and then we throw it up on YouTube, where you can watch all of our episodes and leave comments and feedback. And what we'd really like is if you would join our Angry and Ornery channel there. So that way we know what you guys want to see and do. So it's a great way of getting involved. So I don't know quite what to do with this body. Moving! It's moving. Okay. I heard something. Lionheart.
What place is this?
You're on your Angry and Ornery Show.
Oh, okay. Thanks everybody. Have a good show. See you in 2 weeks.
No. This is 2 weeks later. What? This is a brand new show. This is a brand new season, brand new show.
What?
What happened to you? What's wrong? I thought you were dead.
I got a little tired. Just kind of to lay down and take a little nap.
But you slept for 2 weeks here.
Okay. Last time I did that, I woke up in a morgue in Tijuana, but that's no big.
All right. Well, do you have your senses about you so we can get into this brand new show, brand new season?
No, I don't need to burn any incense. It smells good in here.
All right. Have a seat and let's get going here. So, you had a good, restful 2-week nap, I see.
Yeah, yes, my beauty sleep, I guess. I really needed it. You could really use some.
I was just going to say 2 weeks wasn't enough for you, friend.
I was quicker with my tongue than you were.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Well, speaking of quick tongue, I have a lot of reviews because over the Easter weekend, I actually watched 5 movies. Count them, 5 movies. Actually, it was over more than a few days. But anyways, I'd like to talk briefly about each and recommend to our audience whether they should rent them, stream them, buy them, or do whatever with them. And I understand that you also had some movie information. Is that correct?
I have some stuff. Yes, I do.
Well, then why don't we get right into it, because we don't want to go over that 30-minute mark. There's people in our audience that have things to do, places to be, and people to see. You know what I'm saying?
If they had any of those things, they wouldn't be in our audience. So.
Well, that's true, too. But
yes.
Anyways, we are going to start off our show with the first movie review of the first season. And that, my friend, is going to be... Oh, by the way, I am placing these from worst to the best. That's the way I like to do it. So of the 5 movies, this is the worst of the 5, and we will end with the very, very best movie. And by the way, the distance between is huge. All right? So I watched, the first movie was Into the Woods.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
Attempted.
Yeah. Big cast with Anna Kendrick, Daniel Huddleston, James Corden, who is now the new host of The Late Late Show, Emily Blunt, and even Johnny Depp makes an appearance briefly. So you ladies that think you're watching a Johnny Depp movie, you're going to see him for 4 minutes. as the wolf. But anyways, was there any redeeming qualities of this film? No. I hated it. I did not like it. I didn't like anything about it. I didn't like the directing. I didn't like the editing. I didn't like the acting. I didn't like the singing. The singing was dreadful. The reviewer so aptly put, it was one long song. And it really didn't change rhythm. It was just them wherever they thought it was necessary, and it was just absolutely horrible. So that detracted, I guess, from the other parts, which included good costumes, but there was a lot of bad directing choices, and of course there was some flaws. One example of the flaw is Meryl Streep plays the witch, who is throughout pretty much the whole film, and she can teleport. She teleports in, she teleports out of scenes, but yet when she comes upon Rapunzel's castle, she has to climb up her hair every time to meet and talk to her. She can't teleport up to the top of the castle or the tower. Apparently not. So little things like that really irked me. It was also senseless. How many times do we have to retell these grim fairy tale stories on TV and in movies? How many times, Disney? Disney themselves have versions of these, which are great, popular, and classics. But then they make this bastardization of these tales, which I know, books and plays and all that, but it was just really, really unneeded. The movie is complete waste of time. Don't waste your money. On a scale of 1 to 5, I give it a 1.5, which is so far the lowest review of this new season. Your turn.
So basically, you want to take into the woods and shoot it.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe, the play is much better. The play is much better. I'm not doubting the play. I'm just saying this movie is a real tanker. All right, go ahead.
All right. So I have a movie, and I'm going to give you the cast before I say the title. And I want to know if, based on the cast alone, if you would watch this movie. Okay?
Okay.
James Marsden, the gentleman who plays Cyclops in the X-Men films.
Right.
Thomas Jane, the Punisher, great actor.
Right.
Piper Pietro,
Mm-hmm.
the young lady from Coyote Ugly.
Right.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Still a hottie, by the way.
Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes.
And Scott Glenn. Would you watch an action film with those stars in it?
I would be based on about half of them, yes.
Okay. So the film in question is called Grizzly. I did some hunting. I came across this film. It's new. They're having problems getting it out. It's about a community up in Alaska where a bear, yes, I said a bear, is getting tired of deforestation and all the stuff that's going on. So it goes rogue and it starts killing and eating people. So
you're trying to trick me now. This isn't an action film. This is a horror movie.
No, it's an action horror film, and it's
like Lake Placid.
Right, but here's the thing that has the one redeeming quality for this film. The bear is actually played by a bear. What? And he actually has his own IMDb page. His name is Bob the Bear, and it's the bear that's been in films like Zookeeper and We Bought a Zoo. So instead of using a CGI bear or a mechanical bear, they have a real trained bear.
Well, bears
with
are
all the actors.
They're very intelligent.
They're
animals.
intelligent. Yeah,
they're on the level of dogs, and you can really train them to do a lot of things. Is this that big brown bear that I remember seeing?
Yes, he's huge. He is huge. But it's a good little actiony horror flick with these folk. Thomas Jane and Scott Glenn are the sheriffs of this small town, and there's some missing people in the woods, so they're kind of looking for them, and there have been murders, and they start piecing it together that it's this bear that has gone rogue. And what's really funny is Billy Bob Thornton, I haven't been a big fan of his, but I'm starting to like him, is playing like this big game hunter poacher guy who's, out there alone trying to track down the bear. And it's just, it was really good. I mean, you got some
Say
solid
the title
acting.
again.
Grizzly.
Grizzly, okay.
As in grizzly bear.
Right.
I'm going to give it a 5. I know a couple.
Come
yes,
on. No.
Listen,
Fives are reserved for things like Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind,
Wizard of Oz is
Citizen
horrible.
Kane.
Okay, listen, no, I'm going to give it a 5 because I have infected other people with this movie, and I'm like, here, watch this. And they're like, oh, it's garbage. Just like you're thinking. It's really good. I mean,
I will watch it. You know I will. I mean, I will watch it.
It's got a great cast. You can't go wrong with the cast. I couldn't believe they had all these heavy hitters in a film about a killer grizzly bear. I mean, it was really, really good. Keep an eye out for it. They're loosely basing the story on, do you remember Grizzly Man, the documentary that came out a couple years ago?
Barely.
About the gentleman who lived with the bears and
that
everything?
That was a joke. Barely.
No, but anyways, they're trying to say this is the same bear that killed him.
I see.
In real life,
Okay.
But yeah, nope. I loved it. Great cast,
All right,
great
well,
film. Good,
we're going to move on.
Real
Normally we do 3 movies, but I'm doing 5
Right.
just because I have to get these out of my system. So the
go
next
ahead,
movie
sir.
that is number 2, slightly better than Into the Woods, but not as good as the next 3, is the movie Gone Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
All right,
I didn't like it.
It's got a really high rating. I mean, it's 8.2 on IMDb, and other people have given it a fairly good review too. And keep in mind, I liked it way more than Into the Woods. I thought it was a good mystery movie. I go out on the limb here, and I'll tell you frankly that I am a fan of Ben Affleck. I know he's made a few turkeys, and I thought Rosamund Pike was really super good in it. Neil Patrick Harris played a real creepy character, and he did a great job on that. And I don't like Tyler Perry to say very much about his, Medea or whatever that stuff is that he does, but he was good in this, and he's been in other films that I thought were just horrible, but he's actually quite good in this. He's not in it a lot, but he's very convincing. But all attention and all the spotlight is definitely on Ben Affleck, and I think he does a great job in this, and he's a good actor, and I think he's a good director. But the movie had no ending.
No, it didn't.
I'm not ruining it for you. I suppose it's a bit of a spoiler, but don't be prepared for a solution because it has no ending. I think it would have, I'm going to give it like a 3, but I would have given it like a 4.5 or even a 4 because if it would have had an ending, it needed some sort of conclusion or closure, and there's just no closure. And I suppose the director wants you to David Fincher wants you to put your own ending on it, but I think that's that's just a cop out, and I don't like those kind of movies. I mean, a mystery can begin, it can have a middle, and it has an end, and I like the end the best, and this movie robbed me of that. So I can't give it a good high rating. So yeah, it's about a 3. Good mystery all the way up till the end. So enjoy it to that point, but be prepared. That's all I have on Gone Girl. It's worth the rental. It's worth the purchase. Your turn.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much. Okay. Next on my list, the new flick that just came out with Simon Pegg called Kill Me 3 Times.
Man, you are a Simon Pegg fanatic.
You know what? I think he's fantastic. He's been putting out some good stuff. This is a cute little film. It is a comedy. It is a dark comedy. He is a hitman, and he is paid to sent to go kill this woman. Well, he's kind of watching her and everything, and he's getting ready to do the job, and the woman goes to her dentist. Well, all of a sudden, her dentist drugs her, throws her in the trunk of his car, and drives off. And you realize there's a lot of people wanting this woman dead. And it's very kind of got layers to it. You slowly start to find out what's all going on. I mean, you've got jealous husbands, corrupt cops, husband and wives who are working together and against each other. You've got, a satchel full of money. It's really funny because it is a comedy.
Is it more of a comedy than an action film?
Yeah, it is. It is more of a comedy because it's one of those, after a while, really horrible, funny things end up happening in Simon Penn. Like, he gets stabbed through his hand, and he's just sitting there. He's like, what, why, what, really? That type of thing. But if you knew the whole scenario that was going on, it's quite funny. And there's a couple little twists in it for being a comedy, because you really don't know who's trying to kill who's trying to do things for certain reasons. And I watched it with my niece, and we laughed our butts off from start to finish. Yeah, what?
Does it take place in modern day?
Yeah, it is modern day. It is, I'm going to say it's set in Australia. It doesn't really give you a location. But what's really funny is, while I was watching it, Brian Brown, the actor who was in FX and Cocktail and all that, I thought he was long dead. He's in the film.
Real life.
Yeah, I thought he was dead in real life. I thought a while ago I had heard he had passed. And he's in it as a corrupt cop, and it is just, he's hilarious. He's hilarious.
You know that Dinah Shore is still alive, by the way?
Who the hell is Dinah Shore?
Oh, come on now. You're that young. Abe Vigoda is still alive, too. But go on.
Yes. But I give Kill Me 3 Times, you know what? I give it 4. It's really funny. It's not a long film. It's just one of those. But the thing is you have to like black comedies. You have to have that little bit of, like, that Brit humor kind of comedy, and you'll enjoy this film. So when it comes out, go rent it. Definitely suggest renting it. You might even buy a copy.
What's your rating?
I give it 4.
Okay.
4. Yeah, solid 4. It's funny. You would even like it. You might even laugh.
So my next film is, I don't laugh at movies anymore, but anyways, my next film is an older film. In fact, it was out in 2013, so I know I'm just getting to it. But it was nominated, and that got my attention, and I found it in the used DVDs rather cheap, so I bought it, and that is Captain Phillips with our beloved Tom Hanks. So I told you these movies are going to get better as they go. So I liked Captain Phillips actually a little bit more than I liked Gone Girl, and a whole lot more than I liked Into the Woods. And the reason why I like Captain Phillips so much is not because of Tom Hanks, although I will say this is one of the better roles for him. He's got a goatee. He's pudgy. He kind of looks the part, and he behaves very nonchalantly. He's not overacting here. He's just kind of being a guy, a captain of a large freighter. Of course, this is based on a true story, and boy, they made that movie really quick after the actual events when the news telecast the actual pirate event that occurred that day. But anyways. What I liked about it's they were able to take a true subject and make it, on the edge of your seat exciting. There's a lot of tense, moments, like every 10 or 15 minutes it's a roller coaster ride where they, build up this excitement, and it, it's palpable. I actually felt excited at a few of the moments in this film, and to think that this actually occurred and that it occurs all the time with modern day pirates, I liked it. I thought it was really, really clever. And there's a couple of people that are in it that I can't remember. Well, Barkad, I can't pronounce his name. Barkad Abdurrahman, the Somalian pirate. He was superb, and he was nominated. And did he not win that year for Best Supporting Actor?
I don't think so.
Oh, he didn't. Well, either way, another one, Mahat Ali. These pirates, these Somalian pirates.
Are you making these names up?
No, yeah.
Okay,
they're actual names, but I just thought they were really super good. But kudos goes to a guy named Michael Chernus, who plays the first mate in the movie, Shane Murphy. He is so believable and so cool and such a good actor that honestly he could have carried the movie by himself without Hanks. But it was good. It was good and it was exciting and I enjoyed it. So on a scale, I'd probably give it about a 4. remember, that's going up a notch. I got 2 more movies, but that Captain Phillips, worth watching. Your turn.
Okay. So I have news of something that was announced that's coming out, and I'm very, very happy, but it also makes me feel old, and I know it's going to make you feel even older. So Lost in Space, the original television series.
Right. Grew up on it.
Yep, I know. Yeah, and this is where it's going to be sad for you. It is going to be celebrating its 50th anniversary. Don't you feel old now? But they have taken the copies, they've found the original master copies, remastered them, and they're going to be putting them out in Blu-ray in a huge box set. Every episode, all 83 of them remastered, done up in THX, new audio, everything.
Black and white and color?
The black and white and color episodes, they have a whole bunch of new interviews and documentaries with the cast. They're having original specials that aired back in the day about the show. They're going to throw in, which was previously unavailable in the original DVD set, the unaired pilot, which does not include Dr. Smith. A lot of people don't know that Dr. Smith was originally not going to be part of the series. And also, they're putting in the cast reading that they did in the 80s. Apparently, they were going to do a revival show and have it be an epilogue episode, and it was going to finally wrap everything up, but they never filmed it for the screen. They just had the cast around the table doing a reading, and for some reason they recorded that back in the day. So that's one of the things on the new Blu-ray. So you're finally going to hear whatever happened to the Robinson family.
Nice.
The other thing is, and this is something that nobody's done yet before, 6 of the episodes are going to be special editions to themselves because it's going to be how they originally aired. And what I mean by that is they are going to have commercials in them. They've gone back and found the original commercials that awesome. Aired during these 6 episodes, the original bumpers that went with them, the original cast little things of, we smoke Laramie brand cigarettes. They're going to have all of those in 6 of the episodes. So I think that's really cool.
The only bad thing about this is like the Batman series that was just released, it's going to cost a mint, I'm guessing.
It's going to cost $100 only.
There you go.
On Blu-ray. That's not bad. The Batman box, it's $200.
Right.
So,
By the way, Oh, go ahead.
Yes. I was going to say, I'm sure that they could put in extras. So,
right.
Still adding in.
Well, sure. They'll probably have modern day interviews and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they already got that. So, but I'm sure they'll.
I just want to clarify. I was joking about Dinah Shore. She died in February of 1994. However, Abe Vigoda is still alive. That's not a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. So. He's in my basement.
A couple of people commented locally. All right, my next movie, we're running out of time, is the next best, or almost to the top of the best movies that I watched of the 5, and that is The Imitation Game. Just watched it. It's fresh in my mind. Only watched it a couple nights ago. And, of course, that features Benedict Cumberbatch, Sherlock, as the famous Alan Turing. And you know what? I went into this movie with high expectations, and I was not let down. It's a beautifully made movie. If you watched A Beautiful Mind or several other biographies recently, this one kind of falls in suit. I know, the Theory of Everything kind of felt like that too. But this is a period piece, of course. Goes back during World War II. You get to see another angle of that war, a much more sophisticated, intelligent view of, trying to decipher complicated ciphers, including the Enigma machine that the SS, the Nazis, had. But Cumberbatch was nominated. He didn't win. There was a lot of powerful actors this past Academy Award, so I think he probably would have had a shot at it if it wasn't for the other candidates just doing a phenomenal job themselves. But he's really super good. Probably the best acting he's ever done. And the story is poignant and it's sad. It's very sad. It's a tearjerker. You get ready for some tears, because not only do you realize what kind of a life this fellow had to live, with the very famous being chemically castrated because he was a homosexual, but the fact that he believed in this project, he knew he could build a machine that could decipher. And nobody believed him. And he was constantly getting ridiculed and fought with everybody to get this machine built. He finally did get it built before the end of the war, and it actually, statistically, they say it shaved off 2 years of the war, saving countless lives, because it actually was the beginning of deciphering. Of course, this machine later became what we know as the computer. So it's a great historical movie. It's really needed to be seen, but if you have any interest in nerddom things like computers or ciphering or solving puzzles, you'll love it. But overall, it's definitely worth it. I give it a 4.5. I think it would have been a 5, but there was a couple of elements that were a little too predictable. Keira Knightley, of course, she's cute, she's adorable, and she's good in
Flat-chested.
Yeah, well, that's not part of my rating, but the thing is, I don't think she could match Cumberbatch. Matter of fact, I don't think any of the rest of the cast could, too. He's a powerful actor, and I think he's getting better, and he's taking these very, very challenging roles now. So, anyways, 4.5, loved it. I've got one more. Do you have anything?
My only last little drop tidbit is also making us feel old. It's also the 50th anniversary for the Batman television series that we were just talking about, the old original Adam West, Burt Ward. And a while back I talked about the Batman 66 comic book that came out that's been doing so well, where it's supposed to be taking up where the original series left off. Well, guess what? Burt Ward and Adam West are getting back together, and they're going to be doing a new animated movie.
Oh, darn it. Which is live action. It should be live action.
Yeah, it's going to be based on the Batman 66 storylines, and they're planning it to be released later this year, and it's going to be done by DC with the way they've been doing all their new high-end ones, like Under the Red Hood and The Dark Knight Returns. They've been doing some good animated films. This is going to be part of the new franchise, and maybe they'll continue on. So,
wouldn't it be cool if they did a live action? No, just if
I'd love it, but
as senior citizens, I just think that would be so.
Adam West, I love him. I have as a friend on Facebook. He just sent out his Easter greetings not too long ago. He looks old. He's still very active.
He's still doing Family Guy, right?
Yes, he is. Yes, yeah. But he looked old. You know how sometimes an actor will age quickly? It's kind of like it caught up with him. He looked old. So, but wow. That's all I got. What you got for your?
All right, so I saved the best for. I saved the best for last. This is my 5 out of 5 star rating. I can't convince you to see this movie fast enough. After this show, stream this, Netflix this, go to your store, rent it, whatever you can, but watch this film, and that is Interstellar. Now, granted, I am a science fiction fan. However, Interstellar isn't necessarily a science fiction film. It's more of a metaphysical type of philosophy film, I suppose, because it is deep. It is very, very deep. And you will be thinking about that movie and the point it makes probably for weeks afterwards. I know I'm still thinking about it. Interstellar is a classic science fiction film. It's probably every bit as good as 2001: A Space Odyssey. In fact, I think it's better. 2001 didn't really have the greatest special effects in the world. They were limited back then. Now you have all the special effects of modern CGI, and you can capture these things properly. And you know what? It's not really about space travel as you would expect. I mean, it is, but it's really a movie about time. And it's by far the best time travel movie ever made. And I can't tell you too much about time travel in it because it's just loaded with surprises. But it does have Matthew McConaughey. A lot of people don't like Matthew McConaughey.
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I've always been on the fence, but this has
Yeah.
pushed me over to respecting him as a proper actor. He is a good actor. He is a quality actor, and he's perfectly suited for this role. You know, he does do some If I had anything bad to say about the film, it's that he talks very quietly, as do some of the other actors. Well,
Type thing.
the problem
A
is
mumble.
that would be good because that's a good dramatic thing to do when you want to emphasize something. You either get really loud or you talk really quietly, right? There's some actors in the audience. They know what I'm talking about. Anyways, the point is they had swelling music underneath this, really good music, but in Dolby 5.1 surround sound, that music rises up so loud that it almost cancels out the actor. So, you got to listen really close because he says very, very important things. But anyways, I think he's a great actor. Ellen Burstyn's in it. She's great. Mackenzie Foy, John Lithgow. I've always liked Lithgow. He's super good in this. Timothy Chalamet, David Oyelowo. It's a hard one to say. The black fellow. He said his name 100 times. I don't know if I can ever get it right. But anyways, it's a great cast. And you know what? It will surprise you. It'll move you. It's almost like this religious experience. In fact, it's all about religion, but yet they never say anything about religion. It's just a beautiful film. It's so well edited, and the cinematography is so superb that the future is going to be just like it is in Interstellar. I'm convinced that future is our real future. That's how much I appreciated this film. So, if you want to see a 5-star, and by the way, it's got an 8.8 on IMDb. It's got 5-star ratings on Entertainment Weekly. Everybody loved it as being one of the best action science fiction films out there. I also joined that crowd. I love it. I can't promote it enough. So, see that movie. Of the 5, it's the best one. Your thoughts?
You give it a 5.
I do.
You're going to give it a 5.
I said that a bunch of times.
Okay. All right.
Will you go and see it?
Oh, I have plans on seeing it.
Okay.
So that's the challenge now. You go see the movie that I gave 5 stars, and I'll watch the movie you gave 5 stars to.
What was the name of the movie you gave 5 stars to?
Grizzly.
I will watch Grizzly if you promise me you will see Interstellar.
I promise I will watch Interstellar. I actually have it here.
I want some promises from the audience members. Maya and Florian and Amza, will you please see Interstellar? Will you trust me on this? I'm waiting for your comments on Loki.
Watch Grizzly. Billy Bob Thornton fighting a bear. Come on.
Maybe not watch Grizzly and Interstellar on the same night, right?
Watch them in the same night. Billy Bob Thornton fighting a bear.
Oh, my Amza, you have to watch movies. That's what makes the world go around. It makes you a smarter person. It's like reading a book, but you can watch the entire thing in only 2 hours.
Unless it's The Hobbit.
Right. Unless it's Lord of the Rings or anything by Peter Jackson. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out to seeing our show today. This is our, again, season premiere of Season 2. We're working on getting some exciting things coming up for this season, including special guests. I know we promised that last season, but this season we're serious. In fact, we are looking for somebody that wants to work as our special guest coordinator. If you can get on Second Life and you have a nice demeanor and you can chat well, we would like to have you as our special guest coordinator, and you can hobnob with all the famous people in Second Life. So just send me an IM or send me an email, and we'll get you hooked up. Any help at all would be appreciated. You can watch this show every other week on Second Life. You can also see it on Livestream, livestream.com. Look for the Angry and Ornery Show. And then, of course, in a couple days, this will appear in its edited form with graphics and other fun things like that on YouTube. And that channel is the Angry and Ornery channel. Please subscribe to that. Send us some email, leave some comments, and let us know how we're doing. And if you can, and if you really do, like it. We would really like that if you would like it. Matter of fact, Lionheart has promised to send a dozen roses to everybody and anybody who sends a like it comment. Isn't that right?
Yes, sure. I will do that. Just please give me your address, your full name,
Uh,
and
better
what
not.
hours you will be
Better,
home.
better not. Better not. Okay, don't do any of that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show. Go see these films; they're worth the time. And until next time, we'll see you all in the movies. And good night.
Good night.